ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. If you're listening to this, then you obviously have a lot of interest in what they're going to be doing to the new YouTube channel layout. We just came across this ourselves. I'm here with Chris Volsters, a.k.a. SideStrafe, as well as Eric, also known as Wow Crendor. Welcome to our impromptu little call.
I'm proud to be here.
It must be done.
It kind of must be. So we're looking over at youtube.com/user/sorted food right now. And if you were to go to that page, the first thing you'll probably notice is, hello! Obnoxiously loud. The second thing you might notice is this doesn't look like a YouTube page at all. And the reason it doesn't look like one is this is the new channel layout again. Yeah, they're changing it again. I know. Wasn't it like last week they did that? No, apparently they're doing it again.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it seems like it, doesn't it? And they're sort of demoing it. And they put this little video, and I say little for a couple of reasons, because one, it is actually tiny. I don't know what it is about the main video is about half the size of the video on our current channel pages, by the looks of it.
It looks like it just blends in instead of standing out, which it should stand out since it's like giving people like an intro. It makes it look more like one of those ads where you go to a website and it starts playing and you're like, oh, I want to close that.
It's also obnoxiously left-aligned, have you noticed that, in comparison to the other stuff? I mean, you don't have that problem on the normal pages because all the text is beneath it, and it's kind of in its own little box, but here, there's a ton of text to the right-hand side there, which I suppose is really useful if you are the kind of guy that has long descriptions, which would be nobody right now, because everyone's realized that nobody reads them past the first 2 lines, so we don't use that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of empty space, it looks like, especially, I mean, I know even how I do it, and there would definitely be a lot of white there.
Yeah, definitely.
Even that, like, what's the point of a description when you have a video telling people about your channel?
Yeah, exactly. You don't need the description to be there. The only thing you can really put in that is links. Those are the useful things that we use descriptions for as YouTubers, because you can't put a link in an annotation under most circumstances. So we put links there, and to be honest, if we've got a bunch of links from research or sources or anything, then if people really want to see those, they will just click and they'll be able to see it. But having those on the front page is actually useless. And if you think about that, I'm just looking at these guys and their description. So they've got basically 3 paragraphs in that description, and there's still this big block of white beneath it that you can probably see that's not being used at all. So you need a pretty long description to fill that up, and that's even with a small video. So the reason this video is smaller, I imagine, is because of that, and because it would take up too much of the new design otherwise. So, you know, that's less than ideal. That left alignment is annoying as hell. I didn't even notice before until I realized what it was, and I'm like, why is this video left aligned?
Yeah, well, they did that with the homepage too. Or whatever the new video page, where they just kind of shifted everything to the left for no real reason. Like, at least give the option to center it.
There's a reason why most websites don't do that, right? Because it doesn't look very good. Pretty much everything else is center aligned, and a lot of websites these days have the whole, this is the video and or image, and then beneath that is the text, and you know, it's nicely formatted that way, and that gives them a ton of flexibility with what they put to the sides there. But you've got, the text is as big as the video window. Yeah, I've just looked at the description box. It's the same size. So if that was beneath it, my video could be twice the size, instead of being this dinky little thing. And it seems that you also don't have the option to change its size like you would on a watch page. You know, you can scale it 3 different sizes or go full screen. You can't do that either. So you've got dinky, dinky, or dinky unless you want to go full screen with it, which a lot of the times people don't want to do. Unless it's like a big 1080p gameplay video where they're really interested in it. They'll happily just watch it in a smaller window while they're browsing other stuff.
Now, if you subscribe to this channel, we were talking about how, does this disappear? Does that go away if you actually sub that intro video?
The intro video? Let's try it out. I'm clicking subscribe right now, and I'm now going to reload the video. And it actually does, interestingly enough. So now it's completely different, and there's no auto-playing video at all. Which is... What?
Oh, wait.
Oh.
I thought I subscribed. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, because I clicked subscribe there. It went into my little subscription thing.
Okay, yeah, now that's gone, and there's...
So now they've placed that with recent activity to, if you want to go away from the channel page.
Recent activity is absolutely stupid. Yeah, it really is. This only exists because Google is, for some reason, obsessed with turning YouTube into a social media networking nonsense hub. That's all I can really explain it with. Because if you look at this, under this guy's recent activity, the top 2 are uploaded video. Yeah? You want to know where else that is? The recent uploads directly beneath that, and the shelves directly beneath that, with all of their latest stuff. So you literally have the same video 3 times on that page for no reason at all. Actually, sorry, 4 times, because they have playlists down the bottom which also include those videos.
Yep, I see that.
And even, like, it's okay, so somebody subscribes, and then they go to your channel. Like, they're going to your channel to watch what's on your channel. They're not going to your channel to see more recent activity where they can go somewhere else because somebody liked a video.
Yeah, I really don't like. It's cool to be able to push traffic that way, but at the end of the day, that's supposed to be optional, and it's supposed to go out into people's feeds on the front page if you choose, and also can be shown in the bulletin system, right? This is basically forcing the bulletin system onto the front page, which sounds wonderful in theory until you realize how much space it takes up, and the fact that it completely overrides the ability to have a nice big video saying, hey, we're autoplaying this, watch this. You know, this is actually super important for us, that big autoplay, because it is useful for highlighting the video that we want you guys to watch, and now we don't have that ability. Unless, of course, all of this stuff is under the customization, which we don't know because we don't have access to this thing. Why is you recently watched on this page? This has no business being here at all. That's under the pop-up. There's a bar at the top, most people are aware of. If you click the little arrow into the top right of your YouTube page, you will then notice all of your history stuff. That's all there. Yeah. That's where it is. But they're taking up space on someone's channel page to show videos that you recently watched that have nothing to do with that channel page. I've got to test this out for a second, because the other possibility is that what it's showing is that recent watched videos on their channel, which would be even more pointless, because why would you need to know that? Because you've just watched them anyway. Yeah. So let me just try this for a second. So I'm going to check out an OC Remix video there. That should now be in my recently watched. I'm now going to refresh the page. And yeah, so it is actually even more useless than I thought. It's the videos you recently watched on this channel that you just watched.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. That's really, really useful.
I think I've seen better free WordPress themes. This is just sad.
I've used several. WordPress. I'll tell you this, for WordPress, for all of its faults, there are a lot of themes that are really good at getting information right to you. It's like, this is where it is. Let's have a look at some of the other stuff. So recent uploads being there is kind of fine, and I'm also okay with the amount of space they're using for that. They're using this sort of double wide stack. So I'm seeing 6 recent uploads there. That's pretty good. You know, that's for any of us, that's probably like 2 to 3 days worth of content, and it's right up there, and it's above the fold as well. I like that. In comparison to the regular channel pages, those videos would not be above the fold. Now, it also means that you can click those pretty much immediately. I believe the way... I don't know how you guys have yours set up, but I know there are some channels, I think, where those videos would be available. I basically use all the space below the videos for, like, a ton of playlists.
Yeah, I have my auto-played video, and then below that I have all the uploaded videos.
Yeah, so you have uploaded videos right there. Yeah, I'm seeing that. So it's essentially the same thing, but I think, that I actually like because it uses less stupid space.
Yeah, I like that too, because it's like I can either do the playlist or the uploaded videos, but this is pretty much what I wanted, where I can have like some uploaded videos that are recent and then just have a bunch of playlists.
Yeah. I suppose this whole what to watch next thing, who suggests this, I wonder. And I'm looking at it, it's like that video has 18,000 views. Looks like it's with Charlie, so the chances are this is... Yeah, that was done in October 2010. So the question is... Who generated that? It's YouTube. And I'll tell you, because I just clicked it and then refreshed the page, it then threw that into You Recently Watched and brought up another one with Jenna Marbles, which was done in 2011. So YouTube is essentially recommending that on this channel I watch videos from 2 years ago. That doesn't seem useful.
It's great design.
Yeah, the whole point of that bit is that we can push our latest and greatest video to you and say, we need this to be successful, come watch our video, blah, 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 blah. And we make that call. And yet, apparently, they're taking the power away from us, and they're giving it to YouTube's algorithm. I'll tell you what, I don't trust YouTube's algorithm because it recommends my videos to me that I made 2 years ago.
Yeah, likewise.
It's like, you should really watch this. Like, no, I made this. I don't need to watch it. This is silly.
I want to double check it in case there's something wrong with it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. Either that, it's just like a giant ego trip. It's like, watch how amazing you are. Oh my God.
Then the entire right side is just taken up by like, hey, more people you should go watch.
Huge block of nothing.
Yeah.
Like on 1920 1080, which I would think would be kind of a standard monitor resolution for a lot of people, maybe even more than that these days. There's a giant piece of wasted gray space that takes up more than half of that. Yeah, it doesn't need to be there. I'm looking at these related channels, like anything with more than about 15 characters gets cut off. So either they can expand that so it doesn't, or they could just keep it like that and then expand the bit in the center so it's wider. I mean, that would make more sense, surely. And
it's almost like they designed it on because I've got it on the laptop and my main display, and it works fine for my laptop 1400 res, but it's like, did they try out other displays when they did this? I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't. And, if you're going to be properly compliant, then you want it to look good on all those displays and not have gigantic pieces of wasted space. Also, what the hell is this? Related channels. Like, we're going to force you to advertise your competition and you have no choice about it. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
This is terrible. That's an incredibly bad idea. I mean, I already disliked the whole, here's some related videos in the side, which was really bad because it was very easy to exploit that system and use other people's meta tags and things like that and have your video basically show up in their sidebar for your videos and that you couldn't even remove it or anything. Now it's channels that may very well be competition for you. I mean, all of these right here, all of these are chefs in the related channels. So it's like, this is a cookery channel, these are cookery channels. So for gaming channels, we're going to have other gaming channels that may very well be your competition. I can't see anyone in the world being happy with that.
Yeah, it might even be someone whose content you don't really like, and yet they show up in your thing, and so people are going to relate them to you now.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, it could be someone that actively hates you and makes videos about how terrible you are. Go subscribe to them. Like, yeah, this seems great. I mean, this is the point of our friends, right? This is the promo box. What did they used to call it? There used to be like a thing years ago where people would be like box for box and all that crap.
Yeah.
Obnoxious. But yeah, that's the place where you can put that stuff and you can choose. So why exactly are we then getting another box below that you can't choose?
It's really about like they're just taking away the options you have. And forcing you to use their options.
Speaking of options, apparently the only thing you can now customize is the header. So my entire theme and my color scheme and my brand, that's all gone in favor of white.
Oh, yeah. I spent hours on mine. Hours, I mean, because...
People pay money for these things.
Yeah, people pay a lot of money for those backgrounds. I mean, that's a lot of people's, art labor there, too, that's just kind of down the drain. And
yeah, I mean, my channel is themed in such a way because it's appropriate to my brand. We use a certain color scheme. I use like a lot of the bronze on there. I use the red and the black. There is no white anywhere on my page aside from the stuff that YouTube has forced to be there.
And even with that, like, isn't that their whole thing about branding and like getting advertisers to give money to like certain brands and everything? And now it's just like... just a giant...
It's absurd. It's like if you bought Time Warner Cable and then every channel on the network would be forced to use the same color scheme.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no way in a million years that would work. If YouTube wants to be a competitor to television, it's got to realize that in order to do that, it's got to give brand control to the channels so that they can create this powerful brand on YouTube and attract people to use the service. This doesn't do that. This is actually the opposite. This, again, makes it look like a social network, which is not what we want.
It's just, I mean, it's hard to look. I mean, even having spent some time in art school and just looking at how generally busy it is with all the text. And I mean, the human brain actually focuses more on imagery than it does text. And they're going totally against that. And it's really confusing me as to why they've decided to they're taking away individualism. It's just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, you'd think that there are other priorities. I mean, why do our videos, our beautiful high bitrate 1080p videos still look like muddy water? Their encoding is backwards. It's HTML5, I guess they're working on, but it seems like it's still on the back burner. And I don't know.
Even
why are we still dealing with this?
It's a video site, and they're focusing on text.
Yeah, that's pretty comical, really. And if I were to compare the amount of text on my page versus the amount on this page, there's about 5 times more on this, because just like descriptions everywhere, text. Whereas mine is like, it's pretty clean. Text is reserved really for the side box where it's got stuff like media inquiries, things like that. Is there even a space for any of that on this page? Because these guys don't have it. I need this. I need the ability to write down, here is my PR contact, here is my business contact,
right,
and so on and so forth, because that's how companies get in touch with me. There is no space on this entire page for that unless you go under About, which is a separate part entirely, which, I'm clicking on that, and that's actually hideous, the way that it's aligned. It's got these 3 tiny columns with massive amounts of pointless white space in between them. It then replicates, you want to get funny? It replicates the friends from the right in slightly larger pixely boxes down below the About section.
I see that.
Oh, and you want wonderful? Discussion. Yeah, you know that thing that we all turned off?
I noticed that one.
Yeah, this better be blockable. Like, this, we better be able to turn discussion off. That is awful. I mean, channel discussion is the worst possible thing. There's a reason why we all have websites and subreddits and Tumblrs and Facebooks to discuss this thing, because it's just better. This is a place for trolling. This is where people can just go and type any old crap, and you've got to then moderate it, and it literally serves no practical purpose.
And you look at, like, just the giant space. It looks like somebody made that link page thing with, like, Yahoo GeoCities or something.
Yeah.
Like, just dragging links, being like, oh, here's my links put on a page. Like, there's no
they actually
structure.
look ugly, because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's like 8 to a line. There's just the one under there taking up. Of course, the rest of the white space is dominated because it's in that line, ergo, why would it not be? So, again, ton of wasted space right there. You want to send a message to someone, you actually have to click the About button by the looks of it.
That's why, like, from a design standpoint, the more you make someone click through, like, a bunch of links to get to where they want to get to, they're going to just give up. Like, if someone wants to find your business email and it's right there on your front page, be like, oh, okay, there it is. But if they got to be like, okay, I got to go here, click About, look through all this scattered.
So even the sub numbers and view numbers are under About as well. It seems like it's not anywhere else.
I'm not seeing subscriber numbers anywhere, actually, for these guys, except for under About.
Yeah, under About, that's it.
Why would that not be there? That's that's kind of pride of place information, right?
Yeah, that's the badge of honor in a way, too. It's
I mean, not that I would really complain about people de-emphasizing subscriber counts because they're actually irrelevant, but
sure,
even then, it just seems like hiding the information serves literally no purpose.
No, if you're not subscribed to them, it'll show it. But when you subscribe to them, it removes it.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I see. When you undo it, it puts it right next to the button.
Yeah.
What? Why would you remove that information after you click subscribe? Say, oh, I'm not going to subscribe to this guy unless he has 950,000. He's only got 949. He's clearly not up to my standard.
It's just so bad.
Yeah, the only thing that I like is the whole shelf thing, and even then, that's essentially just doing the same thing that playlists are already doing. But it's doing it in kind of a neater way, from what I can tell, because I'm currently doing that with playlists, except it takes up a third of the space. Like, these things are huge. These video thumbnails right here, compared to my playlist thumbnails, which are still perfectly readable because, my designer isn't an idiot and realizes that this is going to be the smallest size we need to deal with, ergo we do all our text in this size. So if I wanted to say, I want to really know everything about this salmon bagel burger, I'll click that, and I could easily divide, like, my content patch, my WTF is, my Dota stuff, all into separate ones. The thing is, again, I do that via playlists anyway, so it really isn't a great additional feature. Like, I'm sure they could have just changed the playlist system so that when you click a specific video in the playlist from the front page, it goes to that rather than just playing all. Right now, I'm just hovering over my playlists, and it's like, I really want to watch Dota 2 Doom, which is the third one on my uploaded videos list. Can't do that because clicking that just goes a blanket box that says play all, and it starts off with my Showdown Effect video.
Yeah, it's... The problem I've seen is, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you'll just get used to it, but it's like, forcing bad design on people and then making them get used to it isn't a good business tactic.
Yeah.
Like,
how to piss people off 101.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, I guess a decent example for me would be a site like Hulu, where if you go to, let's say you go to Family Guy or something, or if you go to a show, you have, the top section where you could have a featured video or the main graphic, and the videos, the icons, the imagery is more of a focus with minor text, on top of it in the corners, and it's just all properly justified. The videos are the focus, and all the relevant information is there. And it seems like I don't know why they're going away from that.
I don't get it either. It doesn't make any sense to me. There are obviously improvements that could be made to the existing one. And I've stated that, and there's a couple of other things that could be done. It's just I wanted less wasted space anyway, because I'm looking at my page right now, and again on 1080p, there's a kind of a ton of wasted space, because the middle bit, this centered block, where all the information and videos are, and then there's the things at either side. And obviously we put something there because there's nothing we can put there otherwise, images-wise. And it's like, oh, you've decided to get rid of that, but you haven't, because you're wasting actually more space with that right sidebar. I'm just comparing the two. That's quite a few pixels wider than the gap that's on the existing one, and the other side is wasted by constantly having this left align thing. This is like a frame. Is this 1993? Because this looks like a freaking iframe. And I'm sorry, I used to design with iframes when I was about 12 years old, and I thought it looked awesome back then. I would have thought the Google guys would know a little better.
Well, obviously, they are very intelligent people with degrees in their field.
What's up, everyone? What's going on?
Oh, hi, Jared from The Completionist. Do you too absolutely adore the YouTube layout?
You know what? I haven't checked it out yet because my phone wouldn't load it, but I'm checking it out right now.
Are you wanting to kill babies yet? Because we're getting to that point.
It's like what they did is, it's pretty much what a lot of people do, is like they have like this giant field that they can make it look really nice. It's just like overgrown grass. And they're like, oh, all we got to do is cut the grass and like fix some bugs and whatever and make it good.
This?
And
and so it begins.
Oh, that's the perfect end to this little conversation. Actually,
you see this? Look at this. This is the new layout for you. This is horrendous.
Brilliant. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. If you are listening to this, guys, then this is our opinion on the new YouTube layout. We hate it. You can go check it out. YouTube.com/user/sortedfood. They're going to be so happy with all the views we're sending in their direction. They may not be so happy with the responses. It's not actually their fault. They didn't design this, so please don't shout at them for it. But there is so much wrong with this that is completely and utterly pointless. And we are 3 YouTubers, in fact now 4 because Jared's here, with a fairly significant amount of viewers between us. And if we're saying we hate this, then honestly, you should be considering that. This is not good for anybody. This is dreadful.
Yeah, we're not closed off to change, but this is going backwards.
Good change. It literally is backwards. There's all sorts of problems that this doesn't address, and it introduces a whole bunch of new ones. So
I feel like they should ask us specifically what we'd want, because we're the ones that are kind of like, pushing the way that the stuff is going, and how people, and ask the users, not like, this looks like this is trying to be like another tech website that but YouTube was already here first. Like,
yeah.
Why are you trying to change?
I mean, not to mention the fact that they did invite a bunch of YouTubers to check it out, and pretty much all of them said it was dreadful, and they went ahead with it anyway. So
it'll be a great idea if they took the money they invested in this and fixed view issues.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I like the fact that they rapidly, within a day, fixed the view issues when they were overinflated, but took a week to address the ones that were underinflating, and then still didn't fix them. Like, the view counts are still inaccurate. They're still, like, really low, which I might add is terrible for anyone trying to essentially prove to either a sponsor or a marketing campaign or even a publisher. Yeah, we as game previewers, reviewers, let's players, we all have to prove to these guys that we're actually worth sending games to, so we can get them early so we can show you guys. So when we say, oh yeah, these are our views, like, these are dreadful, then this does not help anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally me these past 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, you've been enjoying that too? Yeah, I had a week of that. That was great. It's like all the chivalry videos landed around that time. It's like I know for a fact these chivalry videos have about twice those views, but I can't show that to a company. And I got a Dota video going like so low in views that I had a bunch of people try to bandwagon to get me to stop the series because like they were looking for an excuse to shout at me about it because they hate Dota, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at these numbers. This clearly proves. Like, it doesn't prove anything. It's God. This is.
It's psychological warfare on their part. They're changing the channels, so we'll be cussing and moaning about this and forget about the other problems, and then.
Oh, we do not forget and we do not forgive.
That's what they're hoping, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, guys. It's before you go. Oh well, you're just complaining. Hey, you make money off YouTube. Yeah, but YouTube makes a lot of money off us. Like they take the lion's share of the cut of all the advertising revenue.
Of course,
we make them a lot of money. So essentially, we are paying for the service in that way. So we have certain requirements about what we think is reasonable. And when they make silly changes like this that they do arbitrarily, and generally speaking, they'll give you a grace period, and then it's like, all right, enough's enough, you must switch over now. I was like, I don't want to switch over. And with this whole white look, they're clearly going for a unified look across the site, which means there is no way they'll allow exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. All right, guys, there you go. We don't like it. My name is TotalBiscuit, joined by Wow Crendor, SideStrafe, and the Completionist. And we hate this new YouTube layout.
It's awful.
Go check it out for yourself. We'll see you next time.